We back, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and react to this part. What is part called? The Trady and the Boss Goon hits, you know what I'm saying? If you got any more shit for me to react to, you could go ahead and drop that bitch in the comments, cause you know I'll be reading them. Any more documentaries or, you know, shit like that, you can go ahead and drop it in the comments, tell me to react to it, I react to it, you know what I'm saying? I'll be seeing all the comments, so ain't no excuse for me to not fuck with y'all. Y'all fuck with me, I'ma fuck with y'all. That's just how it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here. I fuck with you niggas, you know what I'm saying?
2018, a reunion was taking place on Jacksonville's east side at Philip Randolph Park, with around 1,000 people in the area. The following Facebook video captured the moment that gunshots were fired in the crowd, causing a panic in the park.
It appears to show a woman running from gunfire at a block party in Jacksonville.
Action News Jax first broke this story last night. Police say a man was killed when dozens of rounds were fired on A. Philip Randolph Boulevard. JSO told Action News Jax Brittany Donovan that 1,000 people were at the block party at that time.
It turns out that these shots had been fired at a man named Lawrence Davis, aka Trey D, aka 8. He was a close friend of Fulio's, who would sadly pass away later in the hospital.
Police say a man was killed when dozens of rounds were fired on A. Philip Randolph Boulevard. JSO told Action News Jax Brittany Donovan that 1,000 people were at the block party at that time.
It turns out that these shots had been fired at a man named Lawrence Davis, aka Trey D, aka 8. He was a close friend of Fulio's, who would sadly pass away later in the hospital.
Has identified the 21-year-old man killed during a local reunion on the east side. Investigators said that Lawrence David was shot to death Saturday.
A few weeks after this, 6 Block tried to retaliate for Trey D's killing, an incident where 3 people were shot.
Okay, this is kind of funny. So Lil Popper actually copyright claimed this video before I took it live because he'd used the audio from this news report in a song and put it on Spotify without permission. So I can't show you the news report. And funnily enough, this claim obviously led me to discover that it was actually him that got shot in this incident, Lil Popper. He actually talks about it in the song Purple Heart, which I can't show you any of because he's copyrighted it, but there you go, fun fact.
It was also this month in July 2018 that a young man named Corbin would go missing, and he wouldn't be heard from again for an entire year.
Where is Corbin Johnson? The 18-year-old's parents say they dropped him off last week at a job interview, and they never saw him again. Now, if you're thinking maybe the teenager just ran away, Jacksonville police say they don't think so.
Corbin's parents say they have no idea where their son is after his friends called looking for him too. His parents say their son often hung out with friends on the city's east side of town.
Now, unfortunately, also as we get towards the end of 2018, young Ace would unfortunately find himself back in jail again for violating his probation. But what did he do to violate it? He went to the mall without permission. Ace turned himself in, posting a social media clip telling his fans that by the time you see this, I'll already be in jail.
I'm out this bitch now. I ain't gonna lie. Shit, I post this video, I be in jail right now. I already knew this shit would come here. They don't want to never see a nigga win, they want to see a nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I knew this was coming. Yeah, they done took me to jail. If you see the video, I'm already in jail. Shit.
Meanwhile, Fulio is continuing to make music and pick up a buzz. It's actually around this time that he drops his 6toven project with Zaytoven, as well as the song Dirk's Story, a tribute to that fallen friend of his that passed in 2014, where he told the story of them going from enemies to friends and saying that Dirk was set up. In that song, Fulio also expressed hurt he felt for the murders of his cousin Zion and Trey D, with the music video for Dirk's Story being a basic but very moving montage of throwback pics of Fulio and his friends. However, Fulio would soon go from mourning death to celebrating it, as another significant escalation in this feud would come on the 16th of January 2019. On this day, Young and Ace would release the song 2 Times Screamin', an emotional track reflecting on that night where his bros, including 2 Times, were murdered. However, on that very same day, only months after being released from jail on a whopping 10-year sentence, ATK affiliate Willie Addison, aka Boss Goon, is performing at the Paradise Club in Spring Park on Bat Meadows. However, after he finished performing, he gets into a car and leaves the venue with his blood brother Queso, their father, and 3 other friends. But when that car gets to Emerson Street near Spring Park Road, another car pulls up, opening fire on the packed Chevy Tahoe, with all 6 people inside the car getting hit. Boss Goon unfortunately didn't make it, with his father describing on the news the grisly scene as he drove the whole car to the hospital after they were shot up.
He was in the truck with 5 other people. His dad, Abdul Robinson, was driving.
I guess 2 or 3 cars pulled up on the side of us, shot inside our car over 100 times, killed my son in the front seat, shot my son in the back, in the head, 3 times. Shot my nephew several times. A couple more passengers in there were shot several times, numerous of times. And I drove all the way from there to Memorial Hospital, shot in the back myself twice.
The murder of Boss Goon was nearly worse than the ace hit. With 6 people in that car all being hit, it's actually a miracle that 5 of...
Who we said got shot in the head 3 times? How you get shot in the head 3 times and live? I'm telling you, but God a miracle, boy. I'm telling you.
100 times. Killed my son in the front seat. Shot my son in the back, in the head 3 times. Shot my nephew several times. A couple more passengers in there were shot several times, numerous of times. And I drove all the way from there to Memorial Hospital, shot in the back myself twice.
The murder of Boss Goon was nearly worse than the ace hit. With 6 people in that car all being hit, it's actually a miracle that 5 of them even survived. Which is why it's doubly disrespectful that immediately after this incident, Fulio was mocking the recently deceased Boss Goon on social media heavily, saying horrible things like he deserved it.
Family and friends tell me he did not deserve.
That fuck nigga deserved to die. Bitch ass.
As well as showing off the pack, saying that he's...
Bro, it's not funny, but it is, bro. Cause like, bro, what the fuck? This nigga's so disrespectful, bro. Like, bro.
Things like he deserved it.
Family and friends.
Bro, did it even happen like 24 hours after he did, bro?
Fulio was mocking the recently deceased Boss Goon on social media heavily, saying horrible things like he deserved it.
Family and friends tell me he did not deserve.
That fuck nigga deserved to die. Bitch ass.
As well as showing off.
Bro, I'm sorry, bro, I'm about to cry, bro. Bro, nigga Fulio is fucking funny, bro. It's not funny, but it is. This nigga is fucking hilarious, bro. Like, R.I.P. to the man Boss Goon, but oh my god. Bruh.
A pack saying that he is smoking on Willie.
The American Pie, that's what we gonna call him, the American Pie Willie. He ain't make it, Willie Rollo, he ain't make it.
Ironically, Willie's father told the news following his son's murder that he wouldn't be seeking revenge.
He wants people to know he's not retaliating for the murder of his son.
I want justice for my son. I'm not sending nobody out there. They got quote unquote, I'm supposed to have hits.
Well, maybe he's not going for revenge, but the same couldn't be said for his other son, Queso. In the weeks that followed the murder of Boss Goon, there were deadly shootouts between both of these crews. And 2 weeks after Boss Goon's assassination, 50-year-old Damon Rothermel was shot and killed while riding his bike on Emerson Street. An innocent bystander apparently hit by a stray bullet fired during a shootout between 2 cars involved in this beef.
Shortly after 1 p.m. Thursday, Emerson Street became a major crime scene following a deadly shooting. Witnesses say it sounded like a gun battle between 2 parties in separate vehicles. By the time the gunfire ended and the shooters were long gone, a bicyclist was found in the street on the ground. Witnesses say he had been hit by gunfire. The man was pronounced dead at the scene.
Now, the cops would later charge Dominique Barner from ATK with the shooting of this bystander. And remember that for later because it's important. Because Barner wasn't arrested for that crime for over a year. And over this period of time, he would allegedly continue to be a serious shooter for the ATK side. Now, naturally, all of this activity in the streets attracted the attention of the JSO, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, who swept up numerous KTA affiliates who had been seen in music videos toting guns in what was known as Operation Wrap-Up.
6 people arrested in Operation Wrap-Up. Right now, police are searching for 3 others.
This is some pictures of videos that they've had, and you can see in these pictures that these men or these teenagers actually have guns and they're pointing at the screen. Now, the sheriff says that these 9 people, even though they're still looking for 3, can be linked to some very serious crimes, recent crimes here in Jacksonville.
However, they clearly...
3 of them was Mookie, I think. Was it? Was it Mookie? I don't know. Let me see. Shit, I'm talking too soon.
He didn't get the most motivated of shooters, because allegedly in February 2019, Queso would avenge his fallen brother by taking the life of a KTA affiliate incredibly close to Fulio, killing a 16-year-old boy with probably the most...
Wait, what?
Baby.
No. Rewind that, bro. What did you say?
pictures that these men or these teenagers actually have guns and they're pointing at the screen. Now, the sheriff says that these 9 people, even though they're still looking for 3, can be linked to some very serious crimes, recent crimes here in Jacksonville.
However, they clearly didn't get the most motivated of shooters, because allegedly in February 2019, Queso would avenge his fallen brother by taking the life of a KTA affiliate incredibly close to Thulia.
How do you know that, bro? How? Unless it's on a news article, if you about to show me in the next chapter, how do you know that, bro?
16-year-old boy.
It better be a news article, because I swear to God, this nigga won't, like, you gonna be the biggest police ass, bro.
Probably the most famous name associated with this entire beef, Bibby.
Gunfire erupts inside a Northwest Side apartment complex. It leaves this 16-year-old dead. Neighbors say that the shooting sounded like a war zone. Sky 4 captured the large crime scene outside the Hilltop Village apartment complex off 45th Street just before 3 this afternoon.
Family members have identified the 16-year-old boy who was shot and killed inside the parking lot of Hilltop apartment complex as Adrian Gaynor Jr.
Yes, several hours ago, there was a large group of people that gathered here at this memorial site to pay respects to the young man who lost his life here. Eyewitnesses are telling us now that Gaynor was being chased to this exact spot where he lost his life.
On February 25th, 2019, 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor Jr., aka Bibby, was shot dead in a brazen attack carried out with automatic weapons at the Hilltop Village apartments in Jacksonville. This hit was allegedly carried out by Queso, and today he is still being held on charges of murder for this case. However, just like we said earlier that Barner wasn't charged for quite some time, Queso would remain free for over 2 years after the murder of Bibby. And I'll be honest, Queso pretty much spent that entire 2 years on a self-snitching world tour. In fact, the eventual indictment against Queso for Bibby's murder included references to social media posts Queso had made where he appeared to mock Bibby's death and take responsibility for it.
The report also says Robinson, quote, posted several photographs and videos bragging about the murder. It took 2 years before police issued this arrest warrant for Robinson.
A few days after the killing, Bibby's mother marched, vowing to get justice for her son.
This evening, loved ones gathered to remember a local 16-year-old. He was shot and killed in the parking lot of a Northwest Jacksonville apartment complex.
For the first time tonight, we're hearing from Adrian Gaynor's family, who's seeking justice for his death.
We pray for the mother, oh God, Miss Elizabeth, oh Father Lord. God,
as friends and relatives gathered under this gazebo to remember 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor, his mom and his grandmother begged for the violence on Jacksonville streets to stop.
Y'all get together and y'all pray.
Gaynor's mother says she will not rest until the shooters are captured.
I'm going to rock this city until they get justice for my baby. Until everybody involved are arrested, I am going to shake Duval County.
A while after this, Queso ended up responding on social media.
Shit, bro. I can't even imagine the hurt a mama going through, losing her baby like that, bro. That shit. Boy, I'm telling you. That shit crazy.
Dissing Bibby and mocking his mum for calling for a march over his death.
They cremated that. Poor ass dead nigga. And they got his mom walking around. March. 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 We're gonna get him, March.
Queso also made numerous...
Boy, oh my God, bruh. Niggas don't care. Hold on.
Dissing Bibby and mocking his mum for calling for a march over his death.
They cremated that.
Oh my God, bro. Bro, what the fuck? Bruh. No way. No way. No way. No way. No way, bruh. He really...
This city until they get justice for my baby. Until everybody involved are arrested, I am going to shake Duval County.
A while after this, Queso ended up responding on social media, dissing Bibby and mocking his mum for calling for a march over his death.
They cremated that. Poor ass dead nigga. And they got his mom walking around.
March! 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 We're gonna get him, March!
Queso also made numerous disrespectful posts about Bibby, including making like funny little animations that I would say are kind of early flashes of the kind of crazy disrespect that we would see later on in this beef when Who I Smoke dropped.
In the air with Bibby, I'm flying with Bibby, Bibby, I'm flying.
But Queso wasn't the only one talking about the death.
Whoa, oh my God.
Making like funny little animations that I would say are kind of early flashes of the kind of crazy disrespect that we would see later on in this beef when Who I Smoke dropped.
In the air with Bibby, I'm flying with Bibby, Bibby, I'm flying.
But Queso wasn't the only one.
Oh my God, bro. What the fuck? Bro, this shit's crazy, bro.
Talking about the death of Bibby. In fact, the entire ATK side were taking disrespect to brave new levels. Whopper with the Chopper even went as far as to post a photograph of Bibby's dead body to his Instagram story along with the caption, "Spit on Dis." A picture which is obviously too shocking to show you on YouTube. And I'm not actually sure if Queso posted this picture himself. I mean, hell, he might have even taken it. But it just goes to show you how far these guys will go. Now, Foolio was particularly close to Bibby. A year after Bibby's murder, he dropped the heartfelt tribute song Bibby's Story, trying to give a more positive reflection on his fallen brother. The music video had tons of throwback footage of Bibby in it, but on the song, Foolio also reveals some dark details about his relationship with Bibby, saying at one point that Bibby had caught a body by the time he was 16, which is the age that he was killed, going on to suggest that Foolio was aware that the murder...
What did I just say?
Song Bibby's Story, trying to give a more positive reflection on his fallen brother. The music video had tons of throwback footage of Bibby in it, but on the song, Foolio also reveals some dark details about his relationship with Bibby, saying at one point that
he was 16 with a body on his back. He was fighting all the demons, couldn't cope out himself. God damn. That nigga jumped in that water. I'm telling you, don't jump in that water, boy. I'm telling you. That shit.
Bibby had caught a body by the time he was 16, which is the age that he was killed, going on to suggest that Foolio was aware that the murder that Bibby had committed at this young age had been playing on his mind before he was killed. Foolio went on to say, "You was killing shit for me, that's why I want to kill myself." And going on to later rap, "You know I'm killing about your name because you killed for me. He say he smoking Bibby, now he resting in peace." From these lyrics, we can kind of see that Foolio blames himself for Bibby's killing, with it sounding like Bibby was specifically targeted due to his association with Foolio. Now, the song Bibby's Story ended up doing numbers for Foolio, but that didn't stop Queso taking to social media, singing along to the song to make fun of Bibby and Foolio.
Why you had to leave? Why you ain't stay with me? With me? Why you had to leave? Bibby! He was 16 with a body on his belt. Got his ass body, those 16-year-old. Oh, my God.
Going on from this, we of course know that Bibby's name would end up being the first and most famous name that was disrespected in that song, Who I Smoke. Thing is, Foolio wasn't lying when he said that there were people ready to kill over Bibby's name, because only a few weeks after the Bibby hit, another attempt is made on Young and Ace's life, once again with deadly consequences.
They said how long after? Nah, nigga, how long after? Let me see. Fuck, bro, god damn. What was it? Oh my fucking god.
Why you ain't stay with me? With me? Why you had to leave? Bibby! He was 16 with a body on his belt. Got his ass body, those 16-year-old. Oh, my God.
Going on from this, we of course know that Bibby's name would end up being the first and most famous name that was disrespected in that song, Who I Smoke. Thing is, Foolio wasn't lying when he said that there were people ready to kill over Bibby's name, because only a few weeks after the Bibby hit, another attempt is made on Young and Ace's life, once again.
Oh, after the Bibby hit. I thought he said after he dropped Who I Smoke, or that song. That's what I thought. But okay.
Deadly consequences.
911. Yes, ma'am. There were, I don't know, 10 shots at least.
Hi. I just heard a bunch of loud echoing pops. Sounded a lot like gunshots.
But it brought me out of a sound sleep. It was several rounds running through the halls, banging on everybody's door, running outside the building, around, banging on windows.
They've come in the hotel, and I was looking out because I could hear them running 5 of them ran past our door and they were screaming, we gotta go before the police get here.
Yes, on the 10th of March 2019, while in Waycross, Georgia for a show, Ace and his crew are staying at...
Remind you, this whole time, all this game banging and shit going on, I'm in school, bro. I'm in high school. This was what, my senior year, 2019, this shit happened. I'm listening to Fulio in school, 2019, yada, yada, yada. Not knowing what none of this shit mean till now. Me and my homeboy listening to Fulio. So, well, I listened to him more. I started listening to him first. Then my homeboy started listening to him. I was listening to him first, bro. But now, looking at this, I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? All this shit's going on while I'm in high school, bro. God damn.
At the Hampton Inn Hotel, and whilst chilling outside by the pool, they are ambushed by a KTA hit squad, who let off shots in an attempt to take Ace's life, which unfortunately ends up killing Ace's close friend Rollo, real name Jeremy Alexander Brookins.
The scene of Sunday's shooting, a group of men, including rapper Young and Ace, were near the pool when they were shot at, according to police.
Okay, this is the scene outside our hotel in Waycross. One vehicle down here, the red car. You can see where the back glass has been shot out.
The chief says the two victims were with Bullard. 30-year-old Jeremy Alexander Brookins died, and 29-year-old Dwayne Lamont Scott has injuries. Both are from Jacksonville.
It appears so. They were all in the same general area as he was, and they all scattered when the bullets started flying.
A group of men, including rapper Young and Ace, were near the pool when they were shot at, according to police. Jeremy Brookins killed. Waycross police arresting 3 Jacksonville men. Mark Isaac Jefferson, Leroy Gerard Whitaker, and Devontae DeMorris Starks.
Now, this is a truly tragic story when you consider the fact that it hadn't even been an entire year since Ace lost those 3 friends in that first assassination attempt. In fact, Ace has rapped in songs where he talks about that first shooting that killed 3 of his friends, saying that he'd struggled to confront the mothers of his fallen brothers to explain their deaths. Now, I can't begin to imagine the pain and hurt that Ace must be feeling going through this situation, so I certainly don't blame him for struggling to confront the families of those close to him who have lost their lives. However, that didn't stop Rollo's devastated mother taking to the news to say that Ace and the ATK crew hadn't even sent condolences to her.
Of all those boys that were there with my son when he was killed, not one of them has reached out to tell me how sorry they are. None of them has helped do anything, shown any remorse.
Now she's demanding justice. In the case of her son, justice, she worries, won't be coming soon.
Naturally, Fulio would later take to IG Live to say that he was smoking on Rollo.
Rollo! Oh, you rolling out the 100, Laura? I rolled out the Rollo, man. I got Rollo on this bill. Nigga rolling out the Rollo.
And of course, in reference to this incident.
Bro, it's crazy, because I'm learning about this shit, and now I'm listening to the song. Or now I'm replaying the lyrics in my head from these songs. And this shit, bro, this shit's crazy. What the fuck?
Fulio would later end his iconic diss song When I See You with the terrifying lyric Rollo died with his heat for speaking on Bibi, an apparent reference to the rumor that Rollo even had a gun on him at the time he was killed. However, the celebrations from the KTA side of the beef would not last for long, and only a few months after the Rollo hit, KTA would suffer a devastating loss of their own.
Let's talk about teeth straightening. Why does Invisalign cost so much?
On the 7th of May, 2019, Fulio's close friend and collaborator, 19-year-old Tiki, or T-Shots, is shot in a tan SUV at the 5900 block of Christabel Avenue, just north of the Hilltop Village apartments. Tiki's passing wasn't announced until nearly a month after the incident. However, if you wanted to know the news early, you would only have to go and have a look at Queso's social media, where he appeared holding an assault rifle and quoting one of Tiki's lyrics.
Big Glock on me, ain't got no safety. Big Glock on me, don't got no safety.
In the months following Tiki's slaying...
What? Hold on.
Quoting one of Tiki's lyrics. Their own. On the 7th of May, 2019, Fulio's close friend and collaborator, 19-year-old Tiki, or T-Shots, is shot in a tan SUV at the 5900 block of Christabel Avenue, just north of the Hilltop Village apartments. Tiki's passing wasn't announced until nearly a month after the incident. However,
his death wasn't announced till a month after.
If you wanted to know the news early, you would only have to go and have a look at Queso's social media, where he appeared holding an assault rifle and quoting one of Tiki's lyrics.
Big Glock on me, ain't got no safety. Big Glock on me, don't got no safety.
In the months following Tiki's slaying, countless disses against him made their way into ATK's music, dissing the fallen op and saying they're smoking him. Of course, Tiki was one of those names, along with Bibby, who was famously disrespected on Who I Smoke. Thing is, though, around this time, the ATK shooters were very active. And it wasn't just their enemies being targeted, it was the families of their enemies too. Also in May 2019, KTA shooters attempt to silence the sister of Zion Brown, with this going down on the 2-year anniversary of the Zion assassination. Remember at the start of this story when Zion Brown's shooter was identified as Trey Shorty by Brown's 16-year-old sister, who was also hit? Well, she had actually made a pretty brave post on Facebook calling out Trey Shorty as the shooter and saying that the police are refusing to help them. And well, in a hit apparently ordered from jail by Zion's killer himself, in an attempt to silence Zion's sister from speaking out publicly and testifying at trial, she was shot 14 times.
McFadden says in
God damn, what the fuck? Hold up. God damn.
Who was also hit. Well, she had actually made a pretty brave post on Facebook calling out Trey Shorty as the shooter.
Trey Shorty killed my brother and he shot my cousin. She in so much pain right now and he shot me. I can barely walk. Fuck it. I can't hold it in no more. Police not doing their fucking job. We didn't deserve this shit. My mama keep fucking crying. Nobody don't want to get this killer off the streets. Everybody hurting my brother. Never did no fucked up shit to nobody. My little cousin, 9 years old, a little girl at that. What the fuck she do? She innocent as fuck. And I damn sure been trying to better myself, but fuck it, ain't nobody helping them. And who came
and saying that the police are refusing to help them. And well, in a hit apparently ordered from jail by Zion's killer himself, in an attempt to silence Zion's sister from speaking out publicly and testifying at trial, she was...
A nigga sent a hit from jail. Bro, the streets get real. It get real, bro. Hold on.
And testifying at trial, she was shot 14 times.
McFadden says in retaliation to her son's murder 2 years ago, her daughter was shot 14 times in May. She believes her daughter was targeted.
He was murdered by someone from their gang, and that person was sending messages from the jail threatening that if my daughter goes to trial, that he would get somebody to kill her.
Now, the young lady fortunately survived this assassination attempt, and ATK Beezy, real name Caleb Sheffield, ends up getting arrested for this.
God is real. God didn't save that little girl. I'm telling you, God real. God real, bro.
But in a shock twist, only 18 days after he's arrested, charges are dropped after he provides an airtight alibi and video footage proving that he was in Orlando at the time of the shooting.
17-year-old Caleb Sheffield is set free 18 days after he was booked into Duval County Jail on 4 counts of attempted murder. Sources tell News4Jax a video proves Sheffield was in Orlando at the time of the shooting.
If he's not the shooter, then that means the real one is still out there.
Now, just when you thought this beef couldn't get more dark, do you remember a young man by the name of Corbin who went missing about a year earlier? Well, in July 2019, Corbin is found under tragic circumstances. According to police, his skeletal remains were found in a wooded area in northwest Jacksonville.
Corbin Johnson's family reported him missing July 13th, 2018. The 18-year-old disappeared not long after a job interview. Now, 1 year later, his case is being investigated as a murder.
Corbin Johnson was last seen alive in July of last year. Then last Friday, a man discovered the victim's skeletal remains in a wooded area of northwest Jacksonville off Utsey Road.
Sky 4 flew over the scene as police investigated. You can see multiple yellow evidence markers and a dog sniffing around the wooded area.
Now, the loss of Corbin is why some ATK members rep S4C, or Spaz for Corbin, and Folio would later speak on what happened to Corbin in a pretty disrespectful tone, saying what happened to Corbin is his worst fear.
This is my worst fear, bro. If you go on news for Jacksonville, the nigga Corbin real deal got kidnapped. Like, I know he got abducted. Do you know how much sense that make? Because when you grown, you get abducted. You don't get kidnapped, like, type shit. That man got abducted, real like, that's my worst fear. A nigga kidnapping me, I swear to God, bro. Like, I swear to God, on the news, it said that man bones got found. Like, that man bones got found. Just bones, I swear to God. They said a nigga.
And he made the song, bro. You gotta remember in the song, what? It was beatbox. He said Corbin got kidnapped. They found his bones. He was rotting. That nigga, bro. It get real in the streets. And it's scary. It get real scary. Because I'm not from that far. I'm not that far from Jacksonville, bro, from where all this shit even started. I am not that far. I'm pretty sure as I keep watching, it's going to connect closer and closer to my street and where I grew up. That shit, bro, that shit real. It get real.
Was mowing the line and ran over that man bones. I swear to God, I ain't making this shit up. No cap. You going news for Jack right now.
Wait, what? What is it? Hold on.
That man bones got found. Just bones. I swear to God. They said a nigga was mowing the line and ran over that man bones. I swear to God, I ain't making this shit up. No cap. You going news for Jack right now. Nigga was mowing the line and found that man bones. I swear to God, no cap. Boy, I be down for nigga kidnap me, but I'm finna kick, scream, holler, bite your ass, pinch your ass, I'm finna do whatever, man. Nigga ain't kidnap me.
Bro, this thing is funny as hell, bro. But shit, that's one of my biggest fears too. I'm not gonna cap to you, bro. Cause I'm gonna bite your ass, pinch your ass. But he ain't lying though. Shit, I'll do the same shit. On God, bite, pinch, scratch, all that, real shit.
Bro, that nigga Corbin got kidnapped. Real boy, none of my niggas getting kidnapped, bro. Real shit, bro.
Now, with that kind of energy floating around, then it's no surprise that there was some heavy disrespect incoming from the other side. And in September 2019, Queso would make the news. But this time, not for a grisly crime, but instead getting inducted into the self-snitching Hall of Fame by attempting to release a music project with this cover. Yes, Queso took to Instagram to announce the pending release of his new project titled The Bibby Out, that came along with a front cover that depicts...
Bro, you cannot mess with it, bro. Do not mess with this nigga, bro. I'm telling you. Do not mess with, bro, Queso. That nigga don't give a fuck. Do not mess with this nigga, bro. I don't care. Real shit.
Queso and ATKYBZ quite literally smoking the dead ops, with these people all being pictured and named as Dirk, Vontae, Zion Brown, Bibby, and Trey D, all close friends of Foolio's who have lost their lives. But really, it's Bibby who is the centerpiece, and let's not forget, people, Queso is literally sat in jail right now, charged with the murder of Bibby. I've got to say, this is probably the first time in rap history that the front cover of a project has been so disrespectful, it has literally made the news. Because this cover caused an enormous uproar in the Jacksonville community, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this front cover itself quite literally didn't play a significant role in the investigation against Queso for Bibby's murder.
The controversial rap album cover is making its way around social media. The cover shows pictures of men who have been murdered in Jacksonville. Local rapper Queso posted the picture to Instagram.
Bro, this shit is so crazy, bro. And me just looking back and just listening to all this shit is crazy as fuck. All this shit happening in Florida, bro. Like, down here, the Wild Wild West, nigga. Like, that's what this shit remind me of. Like, it's niggas killing left and right. Left and right. That shit don't happen up north like that. Except for Chicago. It don't happen like that, bro. Like, that shit's crazy, bro. You got niggas kidnapping. Niggas fucking pulling up at houses, busting and all this shit. That shit's crazy, bro. Crazy.
The caption on the post says, y'all DM ATKYBZ and tell him to drop dead and I'ma drop it tonight. This album cover, a local rapper named Queso posted on Instagram Monday, is frustrating for parents like Bonetta McFadden. Her son, Zion Brown, is on the cover. She says he and some of the other men in the picture were murdered.
It hurts my heart, like, to see my son on there as a joke.
Brown's mother is outraged. She feels like the local rappers are glorifying these murders by putting the victims' faces on the album cover. It's unclear if the rappers are directly linked to these murders.
Now, in response to the uproar in the community over this cover, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office begun to look much harder at Queso and the people around him. And eventually, this extra attention would lead to some arrests, but not for quite some time. And so, the violence in the street would continue, as did the disrespect for the ops on social media. And even with all the added attention of the authorities and literally being on the news from this album cover, Queso didn't think for a second to switch up and act smarter. No,
bro, there's no way you can squash this beef. Oh God, there's no way you can squash. It's too much dead niggas, bro. Like, unless I think I seen a little preview of an interview where Foolio was like, "Oh, would you ever squash beef with Young?" I don't, bro. from what I'm looking at, bro, you cannot squash this beef. This is too deep, bro. Oh God, this is way too deep.
In October, Queso would use the news clip about his incredibly incriminating front cover as an intro for the music video of his new song, Queso Bitch. Yet another masterclass in self-snitching, Queso rapped countless times that he was smoking Dirk and Bibby, as well as saying Bibby had a closed casket, I'm not surprised, and suggesting that he had shot at Y&R Mookie with a Draco. Now, Y&R Mookie actually clapped back on the song Gangster Talk, dropping the lyric, pulled up on him at the red light, went to ripping in this shit, a line which had a lot of people suggesting that maybe he had something to do with that shooting that left 3 of Ace's friends deceased. Anywho, meanwhile in November 2019, at least Young and Ace is staying focused on the music, releasing dope projects like Step Harder, leaving the street business to Queso. However, with all of that extra attention Queso was attracting in the streets with his criminal activities, or on the news with his disrespectful music, and well, it wouldn't take long for karma to catch up with him and his family, provoking a serious response.
What if you could remove
This shit get real, bro. It get real. God damn. Nigga, I'm sweating this shit under you can't see, but I'm god damn, bro. This shit crazy, bro. But I'm gonna end this part right here. That shit, we gonna keep going straight into this bitch. Y'all gonna click on the next video or whatever. And y'all catch me in the next.
Ain't no need for debating. I was showing